Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Eric Kelly, aka the Tech Gentleman, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm giving you guys my final review of the OnePlus Nord. Before I get going though, I want to remind you guys, make sure you hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I have links in the description below. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you got a comment, make sure you leave it down below. I'll make sure to respond. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. But without further ado, let's talk tech. Alright guys, so like I said, this is my wrap up of the OnePlus Nord. Give you guys a quick rundown of the specs. This guy has a 90Hz OLED display, 1080p resolution. This variant I have has 256 gigs of internal storage and 12 gigs of RAM. You got a, I guess you can call it a quad camera setup on the back. True dual cameras on the front. So you actually have a standard angle and a wide angle on the front. 4500 milliamp hour battery, glass back, actually very nice looking, but actually plastic frame. You can see that there. So it looks very nice. I like the color blue. But getting into this phone, one of the first things I like about it definitely has to be the display. The display was definitely a standout on it. 90Hz OLED at $500, really can't go wrong. During my time and my usage with it, it definitely was very nice to use. The other thing about this guy is battery life is pretty good. Even when I was using T-Mobile's 5G, battery was still pretty strong, and I think that has to do with the 765G processor that's in here. So you get kind of the best of both worlds, get pretty good performance, but you also get that 5G chip that is baked into the actual chipset. It's not an add-on, so you get a little bit better performance there as far as battery life goes. Some other things that I enjoyed: the build on this, just holding it, it's not really huge. It's a nice size, especially for my hands. Definitely a one-hander, go both sides of the phone pretty easily. That was very refreshing. No notch, and I guess let me pull up a go to something I never go to here, but there's no notch. They actually have the dual cameras up top, but as you can see, the display goes across the entire front to the right of the two cameras. I'm definitely all for displays that use a punch for the cameras instead of a notch. I think that just gives you more screen. The more screen, the better. Of course, an oldie but a goodie, the little volume rocker right there. Always nice, especially if you're trying to reach in your pocket and be low key. You always know what mode your phone is in. Just kind of hit it and it lets you know. And you can't tell, but it's actually giving me vibration feedback too. So go to silent, you get nothing. Vibrate, you get feels like a kind of like slight tap. And then to ring, you get like a full vibrate. Just a very, I think, understated feature, but it's very useful. Let's see. One of the other things I liked about this guy, surprisingly, was the camera. You can only shoot in 4K 30 max on the back, but they let you do 4K 30 at the wide angle. So basically like a 21:9 aspect ratio on the camera when you're filming. That's pretty nice. Probably won't be used that much on this guy, but still something that I appreciated during my time with it. Outside of that, it performed great. You can tell I got some different games on here: Call of Duty, some heavier games. I got like bowling and Forza Street. And the 765G actually performed pretty well, especially if you're going to throw this guy in like a little controller mount and mount it with your Xbox or PS4 controller and play Call of Duty. It's great for that. Yeah, performance wise, it like I said, it does great. 90Hz plus Oxygen OS and the OnePlus optimizations. They said that you wouldn't notice a difference between this and the OnePlus 8. I haven't had a chance to play with the OnePlus 8, but in my time with this, I'd be surprised if the OnePlus 8 was, any snappier, knowing that it has 90 hertz display as well. So shout out to OnePlus that did their thing with this guy as far as performance goes. That's still their claim to fame, and they held it down on here at the $500 price point. Trying to think of any other major notes. It's a solid phone. I think that once it comes to the States, it's going to be hard to not recommend this, especially if you're in the Android ecosystem. If you're Apple, you always got like an older iPhone or the iPhone SE route. But to me personally, even if this costs more than the iPhone SE, I think that like total package, what you're getting, it's a better package. You get a drastically better display. You get 90 hertz refresh rate. You get 5G. You get better battery easily. Performance wise, that's kind of, I'd say it's on par. But just the display size and the screen quality and the battery alone, I think is a step up. Especially if you get the version I have here with 256 gigs of internal storage and 12 gig RAM. Like, it's gonna do most of whatever you want to do. To be honest, day-to-day stuff is gonna fly through. 765G has made me a believer. Kind of loading this phone up with all my accounts and social media stuff, and YouTube, and just the amount of media that I consume, and playing games, and just weird camera stuff that I do. It handles all of it very, very well. This is I think this is a good median to say the Pixel 4a, which starts at $350, but you're making a lot of compromises. Like there's very few things that the Pixel 4a is going to do better than any other phone. I think it does a lot of stuff good enough. This guy right here, you have to get, as of right now, unless you buy like a OnePlus 7 Pro, you have to get up into a pretty significant price point before you start getting some of these features, like especially right now, the 5G, the 90 hertz OLED. Trying to get that same experience is going to be difficult. But yeah, guys, if I had to make a recommendation on this phone when it comes to the States, it is definitely a buy for me. All right, it's a buy for me. So if you guys have any questions, definitely hit me up. I may or may not still have this phone, depends on how OnePlus is going to handle things. But until next time, guys, I'll talk to you. Peace.